Did you hear that sound? That isn't just background noise, it's opportunity knocking louder than ever. Here in 2025, the chatter about the Iraqi dinar is spreading like wildfire. Claims about so-called Tier 4B redemption centers opening are all over social media. We're seeing screenshots, private chats, and insider whispers everywhere. But the big question is, how much of this is real and how much is just hype? And more importantly, if Iraq does revalue its currency, what does that process actually look like for everyday people like us? Too many people are celebrating the wrong headlines, and that mistake could be costly. That's why today's report isn't about hype, it's about clarity, protection, and understanding reality. Stick with me until the end, and you'll know what's real, what's possible, and what's just noise. Before we dive into numbers and projections, let's clear up one of the most confusing topics out there: deleting the zeros. When some people hear this phrase, they panic, thinking their investment will vanish. Others just shrug it off. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Deleting zeros doesn't automatically mean you lose value. It all depends on how Iraq's central bank handles the rollout. For example, a 25,000 dinar note could still hold its worth even if the denomination changes. Iraq has openly discussed both options, either just raising the exchange rate or phasing in smaller notes. This is why staying grounded is so important. If you only dream about getting rich overnight, you might miss the real strategy Iraq is planning. Today, we're not focusing on fantasy, but on the mechanics of how a revaluation actually works. Let's start with the dream outcome every dinar holder is hoping for. Imagine Iraq keeps all the zeros on the existing notes. Now, let's consider the other scenario. Zero deletion. In this case, Iraq could cut 3 zeros from the currency, making a 25,000 note equal to 25 new dinars. At first glance, this sounds like a disaster, right? But hold on. If it's done correctly, the value of your holdings could remain the same. Other countries, like Turkey, have done this before without wiping out people's wealth. The goal is usually practicality. Right now, buying groceries in Iraq requires carrying huge stacks of notes. Smaller denominations would just make daily life easier for its citizens. So while it might sound scary to us, it doesn't automatically mean a loss, it means a restructuring. What truly matters is how Iraq treats current holders, both inside and outside its borders. So how would an exchange actually work in practice? Picture this. Iraq officially announces a new rate. You'd walk into a bank or a licensed exchange center, present your dinar, and they would verify its authenticity. Then, they'd apply the new rate set by Iraq's central bank. If Iraq keeps the zeros, you get the full benefit of the new rate. If they delete the zeros but honor the old notes, you'd likely swap your large bills for smaller ones, while keeping the equivalent value. Either way, the process happens through official financial systems, not in hidden rooms or secret facilities. Real banking relies on transparency and structure, which is why the Secret Center story doesn't quite line up with how global finance actually operates. Now let's dig into the big buzzword of 2025, Tier 4B redemption centers. Across Telegram and online forums, these claims are spreading fast. Some say they've seen bank memos. Others insist they've received personal calls about locked-in rates. It's an attractive story, the idea that a select group gets early access before the public. But let's be realistic. Official currency reevaluations almost always happen out in the open. They're announced by central banks, broadcast on financial news, and reflected instantly across global markets. Banks don't hide these opportunities. They implement them worldwide. Think it through. If Iraq really did revalue its currency overnight, the ripple effect would be immediate. Global foreign exchange markets would adjust in minutes. Trade platforms, central banks, oil contracts, everything would reflect the new rate instantly. You wouldn't hear about it first from a random chat group. You'd see it on every financial ticker, on major news sites, and even on the exchange board at your local bank. That's why chasing rumors is so dangerous. Hope is high, but the disappointment can be even deeper. The smart path is to keep hope alive, but grounded in facts. The real winners are always those who combine optimism with preparation. So what's really happening inside Iraq right now? The government is pushing hard on economic reforms. They are actively working to reduce their reliance on the US dollar, modernize their banking systems, and strengthen ties with global financial institutions. These aren't flashy rumors, they are real, structural changes. And while they might not sound as exciting as becoming a millionaire overnight, These steps are the true foundation for building lasting value. History shows that major reevaluations don't just happen out of nowhere. They follow deep, fundamental reforms. Iraq is laying those bricks today, and that's why patience and knowledge are the smartest plays for 2025. Let's talk about the psychology of it all. Investors crave breakthroughs, and when they hear terms like Tier 4B, it feels like being part of an exclusive club. But emotion is not a strategy. Policy is what drives outcomes, not excitement. Iraq's real work is in its reforms, reducing corruption, stabilizing trade, and strengthening its sovereignty. That's where real currency power comes from. The most successful investors don't chase every rumor. They track official moves, study patterns, and prepare for every possible outcome. When it comes to your money, patience and readiness always pay off more than hype. Let's break down zero deletion in more detail. Imagine Iraq introduces new, smaller notes, 5, 10, 50 dinars and starts phasing out the big ones like the 25,000 note. For a while, both old and new notes might be used. People in Iraq would exchange them locally, while international holders like us would probably be given a specific time frame to trade hours in. Depending on the official rate, your holdings could keep the same real value, even if the number of zeros on the paper changes. This is why zero deletion doesn't have to mean financial loss. It's a restructuring of the currency system. Investors who understand this will avoid panic and be better prepared. So what should you do right now, in 2025? First, don't bet your entire life savings on the dinar. Diversify your risk. Second, stay tuned to official channels, Iraq's central bank, and recognized financial news outlets. Third, protect your currency. Make sure it's authentic, because that will be crucial when it's time to exchange. Fourth, prepare for both scenarios, a straight rate increase or a restructuring with zero deletion. And finally, manage your expectations. Please don't quit your job or sell your house based on whispers. Smart investing means balancing hope with solid preparation, not making reckless leaps based on rumors. Now let's look at the brighter side. Suppose Iraq stabilizes, cracks down on corruption, earns global credibility, and successfully raises the dinar's value. If that happens, holders worldwide stand to benefit. Families could clear debts, retire early, or achieve long-held dreams. That vision is what fuels all this excitement, and it's not impossible. Iraq has the resources, the location, and the partnerships to make it a reality. The only unknowns are the timing and the method. That's why hope is valuable, but preparation is the real key. When the announcement finally comes, whether it's sudden or gradual, the investors who were patient and strategic will be the ones who see the greatest rewards. So here's the bottom line. It's just like you. I want the zeros to stay. Yes, I'd love for Tier 4B centers to be real and operating today. But as of right now, the facts are clear. Iraq is focused on steady, fundamental reforms. And when the change comes, it will happen through official banks, not secret channels. The smartest move is simple. Hold your currency safely, follow credible updates, and prepare for all scenarios. Hope for the best, but be ready for the rest, because preparation isn't pessimism, it's wisdom. If this report helped you find some clarity, please hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe for more real grounded updates. The story is still unfolding, and we'll be here watching every step of the way. Thanks for watching.